Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Payton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule, presented by FanDuel. Today is Friday, July 17th, and we are on to team number 2 in our way too early look at Mizzou's 2026 SEC games. Today we're talking Florida. We did Mississippi State on Monday, so go check that one out if you haven't. We're previewing all of the opponents in the SEC for Mizzou football over the next couple of shows, over the next few shows, I guess I should say, as we count down the days toward football season starting up for Mizzou. They won't start with the SEC, with an SEC team. They'll play Arkansas Pine Bluff first, but they'll roll right into SEC games, including Florida, which comes up on October 3rd. That game is in Memorial Stadium. It is a flex right now for the time. It's at Memorial Stadium, but it's on Furrow Field. Flex for the time. It'll either be in the afternoon or the evening. And Kenny Payton, before we jump into Florida, I wanted to ask you guys off the bat something I didn't mention or didn't ask you when we talked Mississippi State. What do you guys think about this SEC schedule for Mizzou as a whole? Because of course it's a new slate after 2 years of having kind of the same opponents. That maybe was one thing, if you want to go on paper, that favored Mizzou a little bit, was they avoided some of the so-called blue bloods or current blue chip teams as things stand right now in the SEC. But obviously this year, maybe have a few more of those in the mix. I'll run through them all. At Mississippi State, which we already previewed, home against Florida, home against A&M, at Ole Miss, at Arkansas, home against Texas, at Georgia, home against Kentucky, and home against Oklahoma. Just your guys' general thoughts, some different teams on there, and some teams that we've had on there for a while that aren't, like South Carolina. Just what's the general vibe right now as of, July 17th when you look at that schedule?
It's really hard. I kind of hate the 9-game SEC schedule. This is like 10 times harder. You do, like you mentioned, Knowlton, you avoid the Tennessees and the Alabamas of the world, and you get to replace them with like Texas and Georgia. So that's not really. It's going to be a pretty brutal gauntlet every which way, and I mean with the CFB playoff likely expanding, I mean the advantage of even having this schedule kind of even goes away there. So it's going to be rough no matter how you slice it. I mean, I think Kenny said it a few episodes ago. I will not even think Missouri is going to come close to beating A&M until I actually see them do it. Georgia, I'm pretty sure after they lost in 22, I really doom posted and said we are never going to see Missouri beat Georgia again. And I don't know that I feel too great about their chances this year. And of course, Texas. I mean, look at this schedule and like how many top 20 teams are going to be on this schedule. Top 25 teams. I mean, Oklahoma will likely be in the top 15 or so. Texas is going to be a top 5 ranked team. Georgia is going to be a top 5 ranked team. Ole Miss will be in the top 10. A&M will be in the top 10. It's not fun. It's a very tough slate, and it's why I do think that hot debate about how Missouri fans were like so flabbergasted that Drink got this clause of him going 8-4 grants him a 1-year extension automatically. Look at this schedule and tell me he would not have thoroughly earned it if they get to 8 wins every year.
I would say with this schedule too, Payton, with the changing of opponents, kind of, I mean, still levels the field with some of these other schools that have been a little bit more on par with Missouri. You get to face a school like Florida. Last 3 meetings between these two schools were pretty good. I mean, it's very fun games when you go back and watch them. We go back all the way to 2021 when Mizzou won on a 2-point conversion, secured bowl eligibility the following year. Not so fun in Missouri's favor, losing by a touchdown in Gainesville, 24-17. And then a game that I feel like is very important to that 2023 campaign when Missouri came back and beat Florida 33-31 for that win.
Ranked
I just think
top game from that season.
Exactly. And so I think that it's not a rivalry, we can say that, but these have been two teams that have been on par no matter who is at the helm for Florida. This is a Florida team that's going to rebuild, still first year, new head coach again. I think this is fun. I think this will be a fun one to cover and a fun one to watch as well, given it will be homecoming too.
So we can chat about Florida a little bit, like Kenny mentioned. Some new blood in there in all 3 of the major coaching roles. This team went 4-8 last year, 2-6 in the SEC. Payton, I did add your question to my checklist of is this team dangerous of if they have more than 2 wins combined in the last 2 seasons. Florida does have that, but they struggled kind of mightily with Billy Napier at the helm. So they replaced him with Jon Sumrall, who was at Tulane, spent 2 seasons there, 2 seasons at Troy before that. He's their new head coach. And then new offensive and defensive coordinators, which is kind of what I wanted to ask you guys about first. Buster Faulkner from Georgia Tech and Brad White from Kentucky was a position coach on the defense for a while over there. And Payton, I'd like your Jon Sumrall take first, as someone who pays attention to these guys. And then, Faulkner feels like he will have his influence over this team, for year one here, because we can point to the first thing, and I'll try and run through the names I wrote down for departures and newcomers and returners and all that as we go. But the big red circle around this team, if you're looking at a depth chart, is of course at the quarterback position, where Florida looks like it's going to have a guy who has played in 8 games over 2 seasons in Aaron Philo, who of course was at Georgia Tech and followed Buster Faulkner from Georgia Tech to Florida to replace the highly touted recruit DJ Lagway, who is over at Baylor now, transferred there. Payton, you first, and Kenny weigh in as you'd like. What do you think of Sumrall? And then maybe some Philo, Faulkner, Georgia Tech impressions, whatever you maybe thought of them last year and Philo at Florida now.
Well, I think Sumrall is a hell of a coach. I think he is way better a candidate at the time of him being hired than Billy Napier was. Billy Napier, kind of came in with, it always felt like the deck was stacked against him. I don't think people really liked the way he carried himself. I remember a lot of people just called him straight up like Sunbelt Billy. Like, it never felt like he was able to win over the fan base. And I'll be honest, I don't know if Sumrall particularly has it. I don't pay attention to Florida fans on Twitter because they're a bit ridiculous. They were up in arms that they were not able to land Lane Kiffin. They acted like there was one good candidate in the entire pool last year. But I think they did get, if they weren't going to get Lane, this was probably the next best thing. If Mizzou had lost Elijah Drinkwitz, Sumrall was a guy I would have, absolutely been, pounding the table for Mizzou to try and go get. It's not even just his last year at Tulane being able to lead them to the college football playoff after inheriting. Tulane, there's no two ways about it. They're one of the best, maybe the best G5 job you can possibly ask for. But he had a great track record at Troy, too, won 23 games in his 2 years there. Troy, another solid program, but not nearly. You wouldn't expect them to win 23 games in 2 years. I think it's fair to say. Certainly, he had a reputation at Kentucky for being a really, kind of a rising star in the coaching ranks. So I'll be honest, I do think Florida kind of got it right. coaching hires are such a crapshoot sometimes, it feels like. I mean, honestly, the best coaching hire of our lifetime on paper, it felt like, was Scott Frost to Nebraska, and we saw how that worked out. So I won't call anything a sure thing, but I certainly think they did well there.
I like Buster Faulkner too, the new offensive coordinator. When you look at the track record that he has, Haynes King really revived his career going from Texas A&M to Georgia Tech. We know everything he accomplished there and really put Georgia Tech back on the map in the ACC in this most recent regime. Going back even before then, when Faulkner was at Georgia, he had Stetson Bennett and JT Daniels in that quarterback room for the 3 years that he was there. Stetson Bennett, I don't think there's more of an underdog in college football in the past decade. And he's someone that accomplished a lot from being a walk-on to what he got to with his time with the Bulldogs. And so I think it just kind of speaks to Faulkner as well. And, you could see like a decent turnaround at the quarterback position for Florida if everything moves over well from his time at Georgia and Georgia Tech.
What do you guys think of that? Because, this is a guy now that he has worked with for 2 years in Philo, but someone who, like I said, has played in 8 games. He played in 2 last year, and I think had, 300 yards and a couple of interceptions with that. I was reading a few things that kind of described him as a gunslinger, but I even look back at our Mississippi State chat, and obviously, he's a lot less experienced than, say, a Kamario Taylor is. And Kamario Taylor was a little bit inexperienced and, of course, kind of gushing athletic talent. And unlike Haynes King, Kenny, it seems like Philo, a little bit more of a gunslinger, at least, again, from what I was reading, has a couple picks, but seemed to get the ball down the field. I read something that in the games, he played a little bit when they upset Miami and had a big win over NC State. And I think he's perfect on throws of 3rd and 10 or more or something. In that time, he's got 4 of them. So it's interesting. And they certainly have, I will throw this out there, some wide receiver talent for him to get the ball to. Vernell Brown III was a breakout true freshman last year. He's coming back. They did lose Eugene Wilson III to LSU, but they brought in one of the best overall transfers in the country in Eric Singleton from Auburn. So that's not a bad, duo for him to throw the ball to, but some question marks, I would assume, for you two with Mr. Philo under center.
Well, Singleton too, he's familiar with both Philo and Faulkner. I mean, he was at Georgia Tech 2 years ago. It was a big deal when he transferred to Auburn. Of course, the less said about what happened with Auburn's offense last year, the better. Certainly, he was not maximized there. I don't think Hugh Freeze or Jackson Arnold were close to the right things for him to break out. We'll see. There's some familiarity there. I'm sure Buster Faulkner is thrilled to have him back in the fold. He was a big time recruit, if I'm not mistaken, out of high school as well. Really a key part in kind of that revitalization at Georgia Tech. So certainly that kind of familiarity can't hurt. It is so risky, and Missouri's kind of going to see that happen too. Bringing in a quarterback to break it in, to just kind of break in in his first year as a full-time starter in the SEC, did not work out with Bo Perbula. But Trinidad Chambliss transferred up. Of course, he was a starter at the D2 level, but still worked out very well there. So you really never know. And Philo, I mean, the numbers that were thrown around him NIL-wise were kind of outrageous, I remember. So certainly a guy they're banking a lot on in year one.
Same to you, Kenny? You got any Aaron Philo takes? You've been watching tape?
No, I honestly didn't even know. I mean, I knew Aaron Philo transferred. I knew that he was in that conversation. Didn't even know if he was named the official starter until we started this episode and started talking about it more. But I mean, there's besides him. I mean, if I can turn to the defense now,
yeah,
some familiar names just scattered around this Florida team, especially through the transfer portal. Former Missouri commit Cam Dooley is on this team. He transferred in from Kentucky at the safety position. Jaden Woods, who Missouri even showed interest in this transfer portal cycle around. He was a freshman this past year, edge rusher from Mill Valley in Shawnee, Kansas. He withdrew and he went back to Florida. Emmanuel Oyebidejo, defensive lineman. He's originally from England, but I believe he had transferred from Jacksonville State. He was someone that Missouri was interested in. So I think all around there's a lot of familiar names scattered around this Florida team. And, Florida's, I think, just all around, I don't know if you can pinpoint the offense and the defense really. I think they were both lagging the last couple of years. And when you get transfers in from Baylor and, there's even more guys from this Georgia Tech team as well, like a guy like Bailey Stockton, wide receiver, coming in as a redshirt sophomore this past year for Georgia Tech. There's a lot of familiarity scattered through this team for some of these new staffers.
Yeah, I'll touch on that with Georgia Tech quick. I mean, the three, again, going off the Our Lads depth chart, which we'll see how that, pans out in the fall, but they have three on offense, including Philo. So it's him, Luke Harping, who was a tight end. He is a tight end at Georgia Tech. And then an offensive lineman, Harrison Moore, as well. So, he'll have his fingerprints all over this, and it'll be interesting. And you're right. When you compare the two, if anyone was curious or hadn't looked it up was curious and hadn't looked it up, Philo last year, 21 for 28, 373, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Austin Simmons, 45 for 75, 744, 4 touchdowns, 5 picks. So it's not, there's some similarities there in terms of, putting a guy in who needs to get the experience and needs to get the game reps in. We'll see how it goes. But the defense, Kenny, again, according to Our Lads, 10 of their 11 returning starters that are listed on that depth chart, or 10 of their 11 starters are returners. They don't have a ton of transfers on that defense. They are getting their 3 starting linebackers from last year back, all of whom I believe ranked in the top 5 for them in tackles. So Miles Graham was first. He had 76 and 2 sacks. He's coming back. Aaron Childs, 52 tackles a season ago. And then Jaden Robinson's the other one, 51 tackles and 2 sacks. So, I can't say I know a ton, about, I'm not a super big coach or coordinator guy. So I don't know a ton about Brad White, but it seems like, Payton, he's got some guys to work with. I'll throw on that list too. They had a safety coming back. I've scrolled back up to my list. Bryce Thornton is the safety. It was one of their tackle leaders as well. I think had a couple picks for them too. And Cameron James, an edge rusher, was co-leading the team in sacks last year. Now he did only have 3.5. That's not a ton, obviously, but a lot of experience. They've got guys that are putting the jersey back on. They didn't lose a ton on defense.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of touched on it there. I mean, the thing this defense probably has going for it is that there is seemingly a ton of continuity there. I know Jaden Woods in particular was a guy that briefly entered the portal. Am I correct? Like, didn't he briefly enter it, Kenny? There was a Florida guy that... Yeah,
he did. I mentioned him earlier, didn't I? Didn't he? He's the one that's from Kansas.
Yes, okay, that is the one.
Shawnee.
So that certainly, I think, is going to give them a leg up, probably help them early on, because as opposed to the offense where you're replacing probably more starters than not, that can certainly help you early on, probably keep you in some games that you may not even on paper expect you, people expect you to win. So Brad White, I do know, like you mentioned earlier, he's from Kentucky. He does have familiarity with Sumrall. He was there on staff at the same time. So I don't know much about him either, but there is familiarity there as well.
I got some kind of fun facts. Of course, he does have that connection to Cam Dooley. But he's been with Kentucky since 2018 as a linebackers coach, got promoted to defensive coordinator from 2019 through 2025. And of course, there's a staff turnover in Kentucky as well. This past offseason, Payton, can you guess who Brad White replaced for the 2019 season at defensive coordinator? It's a very well-known defensive coordinator, kind of a funny one in hindsight.
That's still under Stoops.
You know him from LSU, if that helps.
Is it House? Matt House?
Yes, it was Matt House. Matt House left for a position in the NFL, and then, of course, came back to college football as the LSU defensive coordinator. Notoriously on those teams that had very elite offenses, and the defense is what held it back.
And we all know how that wound up working out for Missouri as well. So, it does. I will say the coaching staff does kind of impress me for Florida. A lot of seemingly very qualified names. I'm not going to pretend to know how well or even really guess how well the offense is going to gel. They do have, I don't even know if we touched on Jadan Baugh.
I was going there next.
Yeah. We'll touch on him in a minute then, but so much is up in the air when you have a full-time starting quarterback in the fold, and a lot of other pieces around him. Certainly helps that he's with Faulkner still, but it's just so tough to gauge how that's going to look.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, I was actually looking through the staff, and I forgot some of these guys that they added. They got Phil Troutwing from Penn State. He was the offensive line coach there for a couple of years. And of course, offensive linemen at Penn State get to the NFL, and they've got a couple 5-stars, at least one in the fold there. And it's just interesting to see these names because I remember a lot of these staffers, other schools. Evan McKissick, who's the tight ends coach, I actually met him at a high school not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. He was giving me a hard time that Alex Atkins wasn't there because every other tight ends coach was under the sun was at that high school that day.
That's a good connection. If you're curious, by the way, in terms of departures, I was going to start listing these guys these groups of players. Florida had 7 guys drafted. They had one first rounder. It was Caleb Banks, who didn't play very much last year. I forget what happened there. I think he was injured. I think he only played in like 4 games, but he was a first round pick over to the Vikings. Devin Moore. They had their kicker and their punter drafted, Kenny. Tommy Domain Jr. and Trey Smack both got picked. So shout out to them. George Gums Jr. was an edge rusher. Jake Slaughter and Austin Barber, a couple of offensive linemen as well. So if there were names that you might know there, but yeah, the highlight returner on offense, we've waited long enough to talk about him. I don't, by the way, want to undersell Vernell Brown. That guy is electric. I think like Malachi Toney and what he did at Miami will sort of overshadow and that and the fact that Florida was a 4-8 team and he didn't score any touchdowns, but 500 yards as a true freshman. If Philo is any good, that guy is going to be unleashed. He's a really, really good player, but he does have some help, Philo, like Payton mentioned, on the ground. If there is a guy, is this fair to say if there's a guy who enters the Ahmad Hardy, Kawan Lacey tier, if you're just tiering them, maybe you're not ranking him ahead of either Lacey or Hardy, but if there's one other guy in the SEC who probably enters that tier, I think you'd have to give it to Jadan Baugh, running back, 220 carries, 1,170 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He is back. And is probably the main reason you see Florida ranked ahead of Mizzou on some of these running back room lists, which I will let you two openly disagree with if you would like. I'll throw the other name out there who I believe is going to be the backup. He is a transfer, Evan Pryor from Cincinnati, by way of Ohio State. He was there before, but Baugh is scary. He will give Florida's offense some life.
Yeah, I don't want to put him in the tier. Like, if you had to put a third running back in their tier, sure, you can definitely make the case that it's Baugh. But I do think it's Hardy and Lacey in the tier their own. But, the SEC is loaded with good running backs this year. Jadan Baugh is certainly a reason I would give it that credence. He is a total battle tank. He isn't like this dynamic speedster or anything, but he will run you over. He is, I just looked at he's 6'1", 231. This guy's a battle tank. If it comes
I like
down
this
to
term,
it,
by the way, battle tank. I don't think
that's what I can't really
one.
think of a better. This dude is big. He is a monster. I think he is easily their best player on offense. Maybe you can make the argument it's Eric Singleton. I think it's Jadan Baugh. He's certainly he's fun to watch in a different way than like a Lacey or even a Hardy or a Hollywood Smothers at Texas now.
Do you guys Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's a big inside zone runner too. You can just watch the videos. He just breaks arm tackles left and right. I'll throw out another one before you take over, Jack. Logan Montgomery. There was another transfer running back they got from East Carolina. He rushed for 742 yards last season.
Yeah, Pryor, along with those two, was 522 and 3 touchdowns at Cincinnati. To kind of make up the running back room. I totally forgot Baugh against Florida State, 38 carries, 266 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Missouri fans maybe can sweat at that because that felt like that's what Ahmad Hardy was doing every week. But man, that is I know Florida State wasn't any good either, but just some monster numbers. I mean, that guy, yeah, you're right, Payton. Powerful, is going to get downhill. We talked about maybe being nervous about how that defensive line might get tested by some of Mississippi State's players. I think Jadan Baugh is going to give a lot of teams a run for their money again this year.
Yeah, needless to say, I'm hoping there's not a lot of chances in that game where it's like Jaleel Florence is left on his own to try and tackle Jadan Baugh.
150 yards against Mississippi State and a touchdown, 107 and a touchdown against Texas. He had 104 yards and a touchdown against Payton. Fins up.
LIU,
the Sharks.
That's very funny that Florida played LIU in football.
Good men's basketball program.
I got one last thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more you guys have on Florida. I thought we could do this maybe with some of these teams that are more on the fence, looking a little bit newer. We could do the same thing with Auburn later. I wouldn't say it would do with Ole Miss because it's pretty much the same team, just different head coach. But I'll go through the games, and I want you guys to just say win or loss. Do not mull it over. When I say the team that Florida's playing, I want you to just say what's on your mind. So if I say Florida FAU.
Win.
There you go. So that's how we'll do it, okay? Because there's going to be some of these that might be a toss-up, but I really want to know what you guys think right off the bat.
Can we call this the Rich Eisen segment, or is that trademarked?
Is that what he does?
He does this with the NFL schedules. Yeah.
It's easier this way. I think it just gets your actual thoughts out. But, we'll do that. Rich Eisen segment. Florida Campbell.
Win.
Florida Auburn.
I don't know. No, I haven't studied Auburn like at all.
Florida Auburn.
Win.
Okay. Florida Ole Miss.
Loss.
Florida Missouri.
Loss.
We're going to do this one now.
Yeah.
I'll say loss.
Florida South Carolina.
Where is it?
It's in Gainesville.
Rich Eisen does usually say where they are. If you're
all right, really I'll do that. Gainesville, noon game.
Win.
Okay.
Florida at Texas, noon.
Loss.
Florida at Georgia. It's in Atlanta.
Loss.
Florida at home against Oklahoma.
Loss.
Where is Florida Auburn? Can we go back and do that one? Is that
Florida
in Auburn?
Yes.
Loss on that one. I'm switching to loss.
Okay.
Oklahoma in Gainesville. Win.
Yep.
I'll say win.
Could be a night game. Florida at Kentucky.
Oh, a bit of a revenge game for a lot of those guys. They had a couple transfers out to Kentucky. Win.
I'll say loss. I think Florida's going to be turbulent.
Florida versus Vanderbilt in Gainesville.
Win.
Ooh. That is turbulent.
At Florida State.
Win.
Okay.
I'll go.
So I have them 7-5 or 8.
Yeah, Florida State's going to have Ash Daniels as quarterback. That's rough. There were a couple other. I think the only other transfers I didn't mention in that were listed as starters. A couple of linemen. They got a. Did you mention this guy, Kenny Emeka Ugorji? No, you didn't. I don't think. From Stanford, I mentioned Harrison Moore. TJ Shanahan from Texas A&M and Penn State is another one. They got a couple tight ends. I talked about Pryor. They did lose some guys out. I mentioned Kentucky. Jordan Castell was one of their best DBs last year. He's at Kentucky now, and Sharif Dennison went to Ole Miss. He's one of their top linebackers. And Hayden Hansen, who was I think third on the team in receiving yards from tight end, is now at Oklahoma. So he'll have that revenge game down the road. And of course, Nashawn Montgomery will suit up against his former team. 2 catches for 34 yards last season as a true freshman. Yes, true freshman. Redshirt freshman? True freshman.
True freshman.
True freshman. Couldn't remember if he's 2024 or 2025. Well, I guess I was going to do the does Missouri win this game? Seems like yes.
I think so.
I'll say yes. Just because, well, maybe I don't think they'll win.
Ooh.
It is at home, so that certainly helps. I guess it kind of comes down to which unit do you think gels together faster? Missouri's defense, who are breaking in 10 new starters basically, or Florida's offense, who also is going to have a first-year quarterback at the helm and is going to have a lot of pieces around him. And also, Hardy's health is going to play into this equation. I'll say for now, yes, they'll win, but would not shock me if I have a completely different answer by the time homecoming rolls around.
The more we talk about it, the more it feels these two teams feel sort of paralleled in a weird way. And if anything, you might look at Florida, like you said, with that defense that might have just like a slight amount of more continuity, even if Missouri has the best player on the field, assuming he's healthy. Coming back, you've got the inexperience at quarterback, but obviously Florida's the new coaching staff, and Missouri's got the leg up there. But I'll say yes as well. Kenny?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to find out when's the last time Mizzou lost its homecoming game.
Oh, it's a good Ken Sports Shorts. Look that one up.
I don't know.
know.
Normally they schedule Dogwater homecoming.
Oh, I found it.
Changed a bit.
I found it.
Probably who did they play?
2017?
22. No, hold up. I want to guess.
Okay.
So they had, going backwards, UMass win, Auburn win, South Carolina win, Vanderbilt win, UNT win.
Ole Miss?
No, they won.
There's no 2020.
No, they were on the list.
2020 doesn't count. 2019
would have been
was a win.
Vanderbilt.
2018.
It's before we got there.
I
think it was Memphis.
When did they lose that game?
No, I'm saying I think they won against Memphis in 20. I think that would have been homecoming.
2018. That was the
2018. Okay.
Yeah, because this is October 20th against Memphis. It doesn't say it on there, but I assume that would be it. Yeah, it says homecoming. They wore the rock helmets.
I like the rock helmets.
They're
I have a hot take about that.
Do you want
17 probably? At this point, I'm guessing.
2017 was a win over Idaho in homecoming.
16.
Nice.
16 is the year that they lost.
Who'd they lose to?
Middle Tennessee.
Holy smokes.
That's probably a dark day.
If I had gone to homecoming and saw them lose to Middle Tennessee State, I might take a couple of years off homecoming.
What would be worse, losing that game as a student or an alum?
Alum.
Yeah, I think you agree.
Because I mean, if I was a student, I'd just go and rage watch the next week. I don't care, but
yeah, you alum, you make the trip back. That'd be pretty brutal. All right, there's a look at Florida. That could be a tense one, and a fun running back battle, no doubt, between Baugh and Hardy. Presuming Hardy's available for that one, and we're gonna talk more. I was gonna say something about we might find out soon, but I'm not gonna spoil that because we're gonna mention that in quick hits, where we'll learn more about this Mizzou football team in 2026. All right, quick hits time. I don't know what voice I was going for there. I was trying to do I used the word distinguished right before we went on, and I was trying to do the distinguished voice. We have quick hits to finish out the show. My voice just cracked. Let's just get into jerseys of the week so I can stop talking. Kenny, Your jersey of the week.
My jersey of the week goes to new Missouri offensive lineman Luke Work, pictured here in a post from offensive line coach Brandon Jones, which says, "We had a good time at the 9th annual O-Line Masterminds, an awesome event year in and year out at O-Line Masterminds at Big Duke 50. Dominic Judice is in this, Curtis Piegler as well next to him, and then Caden Green there on the end. I'm going with Luke Work here because I found this out yesterday when I was talking to Lawrence Britt, class of 2027 Missouri wide receiver commit. They played together at Lousing Collegiate School in Memphis, and he told me that because they were there as freshman and senior respectively, and Luke Work's nickname was Mr. Pancake because he wouldn't allow sacks when he was in high school.
I guess Logan Reichert's invite got lost in the mail.
Someone had to take the photo. I don't know.
No, I do wonder if this maybe does give a little bit of insight into who might be the right tackle if Atkins isn't ready to go. Of course, that is an extra important spot with that being Austin Simmons' blind side. So,
that's all fine and dandy, Payton. I don't think you're focusing on the real headline here. Mr. Pancake is a fire nickname. It's great for Luke Work. It's a good point, though.
Mr. Waffle.
I do like a good blueberry waffle.
Blueberry waffle.
Those are good.
They are good.
Pancakes are the superior breakfast item.
I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. Your jersey.
My jersey is going to go to Kobe Ryan. But I can't talk. I'm so sorry, Kobe.
Just Kobe
Rhymes. We're going to use his North Kansas City Hornets jersey, even though they are rivals to the great Park Hill South Panthers. But Kobe Rhymes is a 4-star. It got updated in the Rivals 300 update. Kenny, a few other Missouri guys were in that update as well.
Yep, Chris Harris Jr., Jack Brown, Kyler Kuhn, Kingston Miles, Kobe Rhymes, all 5 were ranked inside the 200s of that Rivals 300 update. Tigers only finished with 2 Rivals 300 players last year. They got a couple guys in that 4-star range. The Rivals industry ranking is a little bit higher than some may think or see, just public facing, but I'll pull this up. For Rivals industry rankings, 4 stars with Jack Brown, Chris Harris Jr., Kyler Kuhn, quarterback Braylon Warren, Kingston Miles, Lawrence Britt, Kobe Rhymes, and Kieran Govan are the 4 stars in the industry rankings. But yeah, this is cool. I think this one was a long time coming. His coaches had joked with me. Jason Palmgren, who's the offensive line coach there at North Kansas City, played at Missouri as well on the offensive line. And he joked with me. He was like, you give him that 4 star and then we can start talking. And, I was like, actually, it might be coming sooner than you think. He got one from 247 Sports. Missouri just doesn't really Rivals just doesn't get many opportunities to watch Kobe because he doesn't go to camps. He doesn't do those showcases or anything. So it makes it a little bit tougher. But Jason Palmgren sent me over a lot of video, and I got it to the scouting department as well. They just wanted to see a little bit more of that athleticism. Kobe played volleyball. When colleges would come and visit him and talk to him in person, Jason Palmgren would have them set up right in front and watch him just kind of jump over the net because he was just so athletic. So he brings a lot of that to the football field as well. He's a good wrestler. He wrestled in the state championship. So he has a long resume of athletics that he's done at North Kansas City, and he'll be an early enrollee. Yes, he took the official visit to Nebraska after he committed to Missouri. Not anything to worry about. Talked to him on Monday, and he even said, he was like, Nebraska, those other ones off the table. He's locked in with Mizzou. He wants to contribute as early as he can. He's been talking about that for a while. And now it's just about the Simone Award, which is handed out to the most outstanding high school football player in the Kansas City area. He's not the only Mizzou commit that's going after it. So is Kyler Kuhn. There's only been one other offensive lineman that's ever won the award. And that's Evan Bain, who's on the Missouri staff and played for the Tigers as well.
That'll be a fun narrative to follow this fall as those two battle for it. Maybe he'll do the 2-sport thing with football and wrestling. Get him in the wrestling.
There's a lot of. Kyler Kuhn has the same. He's the same background, wrestling and football.
What constitutes the Kansas City area? Go down to
It's
Belton.
just greater. It's just Kansas City Metro. I mean, if
You can't win it,
does
man.
it go out to Grain Valley?
I think it does, because there's been guys on the Kansas City side and the Kansas side that have won it. Graham Mertz has won the award.
Well, he's a Blue Valley kid, right? So I mean,
Yeah, I think so. It's
That's
a little closer.
Overland Park. But I mean, does it go down to Belton? Does it go up to Cameron? Like, how Kansas City?
Just Kansas City Metro. Do you consider those Kansas City Metro?
No,
Kenny.
that's why I'm wondering.
And I guess not.
Well, you said area, so I mean,
Metro there.
Metro.
If I know, like, athletes nowadays, like, you're not really allowed. You hear the whole, like, the basketball players aren't allowed to go play pickup basketball or anything anymore. If Kobe Rhymes is allowed to go join like an intramural volleyball league, I think he should do that and just go like absolutely dominate as an outside hitter. That'd be very fun.
Yeah, when every single freshman on campus goes and plays sand volleyball those first 2 weeks in August when they get on campus, you better be involved.
Realize it sucks.
Yeah, it's like, man, it's hot out here and I can't get the sand out of my clothes.
Yeah, I played sand volleyball. I played sand volleyball on that court once the first week of school, and then I think I won a spike ball tournament on that volleyball court, but I did not play volleyball again.
That volleyball court is a great piece to have for the tour. That is literally it. Like, I remember thinking, like, that's cool that they got like a court and a field like this on the tour, and that's all that's good for. I don't think I ever used it once I got to Mizzou.
It's tough. My jersey of the week is going to go to Jameer Jones because, any excuse to talk a little Mizzou hoop. Why not? And Jameer Jones had a dunk in practice that the team posted. So athleticism.
He had
you think
two
he starts?
Dunks,
what?
Right? He had two dunks, didn't he?
Two dunks. Sorry.
Watch Jalen Carey with the feed here. Good find in the post.
Yeah, commentary.
Good connector.
Good connector. Ooh, trip and fall. Don't get hurt, please. Payton, this guy start?
Well, yeah. I don't think that's a question. It's just kind of a question of where he starts. Missouri is giving up a lot of dunks in practice, it feels like.
The first one's a little bit of a I missed who turned it over initially, but
yeah, I can't even blame T.O. Barrett. What number is Aaron Rowe again? He's 2, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Rowe. Oh, who's 15? That's a Tiller pass.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well,
not good, Bryson. Come on.
Jameer Jones, explosive. And, of course,
we have poor Nick Randall here. Caught in the danger zone. Bryson Tiller here walling up Jalen Carey. That's just a good find from the big man in the post. There's really nothing you can do about that. Good cut. Good feed.
This guy would approve. Main birds of the week. Kenny.
My main bird of the week.
Slow day.
Give it to. You'll see. I mean, you'll see why. We'll give it to Auburn. USA Today ranks all 16 SEC football programs. Alabama tops list. You guys want to guess where Mizzou is on this list?
14.
What was your guess, Jack?
14 also.
No. Mizzou is 12, and look who's ahead of Mizzou.
Well, that's good because the 90s count extra.
Yeah.
That's why Tennessee should be number 1 and Arkansas should not be 15. So that ranking makes sense. Everybody knows wins in the 90s count double.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Fucking
for those not on YouTube.
Tired of these
for those
lists.
For those not on YouTube, USA Today has Arkansas at 11 and Mizzou at 12.
Move on.
Do I have the incorrect buzzer sound effect?
Get me to the regular season. I see the dumbest things this time.
Payton, your main bird.
My main bird of the week is going to be Jordan Walker. I got to give him props because this home run derby performance he put up was pretty damn legendary. 6 home runs on his last 6 swings to steal the title from Kyle Schwarber, who continues to be the bridesmaid, never the bride, in home run derbies. This format, the new format, the swings, not the time, I think it really sucks in the first round and is really good semifinals onward. I think it really made it very dramatic in a couple of the semifinal rounds and a couple of the and in the final round as well, but didn't really click for me in the opening round, but more than made up for it later on.
Most definitely. I really enjoyed it. I'm not a big fan of change and just a constant altering, and this being on Netflix to begin with. All around it, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a good ending. When it comes down to that one swing and you can't end on a home run, that's pretty fun. I mean, you can keep just totaling on and just piling on home runs. It really played out in Jordan's favor.
That is a fun way to do it, that it doesn't end until you just don't get one and you just keep adding. Good for Jordan Walker. My main bird of the week is going to be a story from our very own Kenny Van Doren, because it's from Luke Injachok, whose high school I forgot to write down, but I know they're the Roadrunners. Nazareth Academy, sorry. Nazareth Academy, Luke Injachok. Kenny, you wrote this cool story, and we've talked about this before, and you've talked about it before with his time of living in Japan, but you just talk more about the Japanese culture, particularly food culture. I did note had quite an impact on his upbringing and his life now, and he revisited that logo that was made out of the sushi rolls that he said, I believe, quote, devoured or destroyed. He destroyed a large portion of it. This was a fun story. And apparently doesn't like cheese, which, I mean, as a Wisconsinite, I can get over it. He seems like a fun character, Kenny.
Yeah, he's a Midwesterner that doesn't like cheese, and that plays into growing up in those developmental years of what you start to eat that's not just baby food. And he wasn't eating cheese because they don't eat cheese on anything in Japan. And I never really thought about that until he told me. He was like, yeah, I get sandwiches and hamburgers, and I just ask for no cheese. Just don't like it. I thought this was fun, too. You can see it in the photo. Like Jack mentioned, the Mizushi, and then here's a photo of little Luke in Japan. Just all around, just a very fun person. This podcast will come out next week. I just wrote some stories from some of these shows I've been doing. We spoke for like 30 minutes. It'll definitely be the longest one of the group, and he just had a lot of funny things to say. And there's some good banter about him and Chris Kasky, who's another Missouri commit from Nazareth Academy. And don't worry, Payton, I asked him about Landon Tomey as well. Jim Tomey's son, who went to Nazareth. He went to Nazareth Academy as well.
What do you have to say about Landon Tomey?
He just said that he knows him. He's a good guy, and just kind of speaks to the pedigree that Nazareth Academy has in all sports, even in the women's side and the girls' side. They've been to the state championship for volleyball and basketball, and in football, this is the first time in over a decade that they've had 3 Power 4 commits in one class. They've had a bunch of college football players come through the program, but this is the first time they'll have 3 Power 4 in one exact class. Also, J.J. McCarthy started his high school career at Nazareth Academy before he moved to IMG.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, very, very cool. And yeah, I'm excited to look for those podcasts, Kenny. Those will be great when they come out and the stories are as well. Can I share a very random aside off of that when you talk about a dominant high school?
Yeah.
Today I learned I knew this high school. There's a high school in Des Moines that started in 2021. Do you know how many total state championships they have earned in that time since then?
14.
54.
Not 54, 17.
I was close.
Yeah. 17 national championships. School got founded less than a half decade ago. Crazy. I would be fuming if I had to play them every year. Suspicious, maybe. Yeah. Look into that. Best things you learned, Payton.
Best thing I learned this week, it's media day almost, or as they're calling it now, SEC 2026 football kickoff media days.
Sorry.
Who's going, Kenny? Just kidding. I'll answer that question for you. Jamal Roberts is going. Caden Green is going. And Nick Rodriguez is going. I was a little surprised by Nick Rodriguez. I'm not going to lie. I know he is a captain, isn't he? Or is he going to be a captain?
They had 2 spring captains, and it was Nick Rodriguez and Dominic Judice.
Okay, so I knew he was kind of on the rise a little bit, but I don't know. He hasn't been like a full-time starter yet, so I wasn't 100% sure he'd be a guy they picked. The other 2 very logical picks to me. Jamal Roberts, especially being a local kid who most certainly turned down other opportunities to stay at Mizzou. So I think he's a good pick. Caden Green, arguably their best player, certainly makes a lot of sense from that standpoint. And Kenny's grabbing something. I don't know what he's doing. Do you have a gimmick planned, or is this for something else?
No, I spilled my water and I took a T-shirt and I was rubbing it up, and then I realized it's a stain table. A little bit of stain popped off onto the water and it got on the shirt. So it's just not been a good 5 seconds for me. I think Jamal Roberts is going to speak the most at this event. That's my prediction.
I think Caden Green, you could get.
I think Jamal Roberts is going to be asked the most questions.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Roberts will definitely get a lot of questions, 100%.
That is one of the biggest narratives. Okay, one of them should just be, do you think you have a better running back room than Florida? It's been that a little bit. Now Peyton's dog is going wild. Kenny's spilling water.
Realistic. This is awesome.
I'm half concentrated.
We're a professionally run unit here.
I'm half concentrated. I got France Spain in the World Cup on right now in the background. Kenny, what's the best thing you learned?
Best thing I learned this week, Mizzou basketball recruiting. Highly recruited 2027 prospect Samaya Wilkins sets her official visits to Talia Goodman at On3 and Rivals. Samaya Wilkins will be on campus October 2nd for her OV with Missouri. She's not ranked right now, so I can't give you that. All I can say is that she's highly recruited.
What are the other OVs?
Virginia Tech, September 5th, Clemson, September 9th, and Arizona State, September 26th.
He didn't expect that question. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kenny. I mean, Missouri, they're in on some big hitters in the 27 class. Am I wrong about that?
No, I don't think you are. You have that kind of thread going on Mizzou today, just all the updates that we can in one spot. And seems like they're pretty involved with some of those top 100 girls that are especially in the area in the Midwest region too.
Yeah, I'm looking. I mean, I'm looking at a couple of just the offers that they've doled out. Destiny Manyow from Staley, them in Kansas State, kind of early. She's the 30th ranked prospect. A couple others as well. That's exciting. October 27th? October 7th?
Second.
Jeez. Misheard you. Kelly Harper, building a program. The best thing I learned, this is going to be my jersey the week before I replaced it with Jameer Jones dunking. I missed this from a couple days ago. I don't think I was on the show when it dropped, but I kind of want to get your guys' opinion. Because there were some new football uniforms unveiled for Wisconsin. So to call it a bonus jersey of the week / best thing I learned. They're going to wear red helmets and with a silver logo on it and red jerseys with silver numbers for their game against Notre Dame and Green Bay. I'm particularly looking for the man 2 people below me on the screen. His thoughts if he's seen these already.
Yeah, I don't like them.
What don't you like about them?
I don't like that they're just claiming they're the Rose Bowl team. That's kind of crazy to me. Like, I get it. They've probably been there as much as anybody. I know that was like the Barry Alvarez thing. I'm also totally joking. They look completely fine, but that would have been way more lame to just be like, yeah, they're fine. I don't know. The silver, I don't know that I quite jive with that. It's a little too much for me. And I don't know that you can just claim that you're the Rose Bowl team all of a sudden.
Well, I figured your bigger qualm would be like they just did the silver as like an homage to the Lombardi Trophy because they're playing in Lambeau Field.
That's cool.
I get that. That's kind of a neat connection, honestly. But I don't like the silver that much personally.
They're not even top 6 in Rose Bowl appearances.
Oh, wow. Are they really not?
No.
It's okay.
USC, Ohio State,
that is ridiculous.
Washington, Stanford, Michigan, UCLA.
The granddaddy of them all, and you're not even top 5, and you're just putting them on your helmet. That is bold. I'll say that. They don't look terrible. but I don't think they look better than their current unis. I get the connections they're going for, but I'm going to have to give it more of a thumbs down than a thumbs up, I think.
You really ruined his day.
You
looked so jolly, and now you don't.
I was trying to hear him out. I'm not going to probably argue too much about the connections. I think like you see like really weird reasoning for making things certain colors on jerseys all the time. I'm not a very big fan of the jersey itself. I love the helmet. I think the helmet's awesome. The red helmet, they need to wear it more.
It'd be a little better if we could get a more clear look at the helmet.
I was going to tell you to click on the account. There's better postings of them.
Yeah, like I'll judge it on how it actually looks. Why is it in shadows in every single photo? Okay, wait, that might be better. Okay, the helmet looks kind of neat.
The helmet looks
neat. I don't love the ties that they're going for with the Rose Bowl, but the helmet looks good.
Yeah, that's.
I'll say this would have gone stupid in like 2016. Like this was like that time when they had like the chrome numberings where Oregon was doing this and all these other schools started doing chrome. I don't know.
Well, and it's very color rushy too. Like it fits with that trend, of course. Which Notre Dame is doing, I think, in all blue or something. They've got like a different thing going on.
Yeah, I don't like the numbers.
Yeah, this is an Under Armour thing, it seems like.
Yeah. Again, my jersey, I was
but like if I were a Wisconsin fan, I'd maybe want to look into getting the helmet.
The helmet is great. I'm a fan.
The helmet looks good. I'll get it that.
All right, thank you. That I appreciate that indulgence. Best beats of the week presented by FanDuel. We have a couple.
Why is mine on the left and why is Knowlton's on the right?
That's a good question. Oh, okay. And we've got Kenny. Would you like to go first this time?
Sure, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
My best beat. You won me over. You said to choose a future for the NFL, and I'm going to do it. Caleb Williams plus 1,500 to win MVP next season.
And what makes you think he's going to do that?
Just a great year this past year, and get more weapons, get more seasoning. He's going to break the Madden curse. Why not us? Why not our Bears?
Your Indiana Bears, Hammond.
I don't think that's going to hit.
This is good mojo for you, Payton, for me choosing this.
Yeah, look at his run.
But I appreciate the thought. What if he gets hurt?
Gets nullified.
You want him to get hurt? You want Caleb Williams to get hurt?
No, but I mean,
why are you even thinking about it?
Yeah, what?
Because why? I mean, he totally could.
It's weird.
Wow, I wasn't thinking he'd get hurt at all. Football players get injured.
He's too young.
I'm taking Matt Fitzpatrick plus 1,500 to win the Open. He has played unbelievably good golf this year. He's won 3 times, won the Valspar, won the RBC. He stared down. He stood his ground against a Scheffler comeback at the RBC and won in a playoff against him, which I have a ton of respect for. He's been top 10 in like 50 events this year, it feels like. He won the duos event. I think it was the Surrey Classic. I don't remember. I didn't watch much of it. With his brother. He's had a great year. Bit of a hometown advantage. It is closer to home.
Where is it?
It's at Birkdale, I believe, which is... Oh, man, this is bad. I don't remember that. I'll get back to you on that. But I do think... By the way, I'll be totally wrong because picking a major winner is impossible. Aaron Rye won a major this year. So there you go.
Huntersville, North Carolina.
That's not where Birkdale is.
I was going to say, isn't this the Open Championship? Isn't this in
Chesterfield,
Europe?
Virginia?
Oh, wait.
Oh, my God. Let me look it up.
Oh, I'm thinking of the British Open. Sorry.
This is the British Open.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Southport.
Kenny's throwing me off. He just looked up Birkdale Golf Course.
Northwest coast of England, Southport is what it's called.
Southport, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I was say, I was like, this is in Britain, isn't it?
Huntersville, North Carolina, is that what you said?
That is what he said.
I don't even know where that is.
North
I'm
Carolina.
picking. I'm
Western
picking.
half. Western half.
Anyways,
I'm picking an NFL future too. I'm going to pick the Jaguars to make. Oh, sorry, this is not to make the playoffs. I'm picking them to win the division. AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars in 2026.
That's not fun.
Why is it not fun? The Texans
That's
are good.
so
The Colts.
easy.
The Colts could surge.
yeah, why don't you pick the Dolphins? Huh? Why don't you live on the edge and pick an obviously
The
wrong
Dolphins.
bet?
I did not look at what FanDuel has the over under for the Dolphins games, but I bet it's less than 5.
They have the worst odds to win the Super Bowl.
I
have a Dolphins bet in there, don't I?
Oh gosh, I hope
You
not.
scroll up.
Yeah, Kenny, ye of little faith.
Under 4.5. That's what I got.
Oh, I took the Jaguars to win the Super Bowl.
Good.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun. What's our oldest future?
This one's not going to happen. The oldest one is Payton took NC State week 1.
Plus 3.5.
Cubs could absolutely still win the Central.
Yeah, we've like.
Look at this.
Oh,
We totally flip-flopped. Look at that.
Oh, we did. Look at that. We're very original on here in the unwritten rule. Kenny, right
Your
now.
guys' brain patterns. Oh man, Ludwig Oberg to win the Masters. What a banger.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. Kenny, right now on FanDuel, the Texans are plus 130 to win the South. The Jaguars are plus 195. So they don't even have the best odds.
You took Koepka to win the PGA? I don't even remember that. Like it's 2018.
And you look at the opposite of bet like strategy here. You took AJ DeBonsa to be the number 1 pick the week Kenny took Brooks Koepka plus 4,000. Oh boy.
Julian Champagny. Got that. Russell Henley, I should not have even bothered making a US Open pick. What a joke of a US Open it was this year.
That's best beats by
Look at this
FanDuel.
run.
Yeah, Linsanity.
Oh, man.
The funny thing is, it's either pick one or the other. Like he just kept picking the wrong side.
Look at all the red from all of us in that. I mean, look, I didn't get a one right like for the entire.
Kenny bet on
year
Marcus
until
Jones to
March.
score a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Michael Dixon Super Bowl.
Michael Dixon was a great player. That was a great Super Bowl. Oh, it was a great Super Bowl.
It really was not, but I mean, your team won, so there's
a great Super Bowl.
I get it, but that was not a good Super Bowl, just objectively speaking.
That's fair. That's now 2, by the way, in my lifetime, because the Broncos Super Bowl most people hate as well, obviously for fair.
And
reason.
you weren't a fan back then.
I was very much so.
We're gonna go to joke now.
I left a Super Bowl party because they
This
turned the
one
game off.
comes
to watch
from our
the second half.
favorite TV series, The Today Show. I have definitely told this one before, but I'm going to tell it again because it's a good one. Guys, what sounds like a sneeze and is made of leather?
A shoe! Boom!
A shoe.
Probably just spilled more water.
You doing get your cold cuts?
Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Good joke.
Thank you.
Good joke. Thank you, Sarah.
Blueprint of Dyken Park back there.
It is.
Then called Minute Maid.
That will do it for the unwritten rule. Thank you for everyone. Thank you to everyone for watching, listening. We'll be back continuing our run of previewing Mizzou opponents. We got Texas A&M up next for all you fine folks on Monday. So we will see you all then.